Welcome to our website. I'm Dr. Adam Fraser.
And I'm Tara Diversity. Together we're the authors of The Good Enough Diet.
Now, one of the things you often hear is that you should eat 6 times a day to increase your metabolism.
Yeah.
That every time you eat, your metabolism's gone up, and I've been to many a presentation where they present this beautiful spike that comes up after a meal and they say, so if you eat more, you will lose weight. I've tried that myself. I put on a truckload. I tried it with my clients. They put on a lot of weight because they just ate more food.
And in the labs, it's true. For some people, they lose a little if you're eating exactly the same amount. So if we had 2 people, they were both eating, say, for example, 5,000 kilojoules, they would both lose weight, but the person who was eating more times a day would lose more. Now, this is great in a lab, but
let's get in the real world.
We don't actually live in a lab. So what happens in the real world is people tend, the more times they're exposed to food, they tend to eat a little bit more, like we've talked about in variety over and over again. So if you're presented food 6 times a day, you tend to eat more calories or kilojoules than if you're eating just 3 times a day.
Yeah, especially if you're like me. I classify myself as a Labrador. If food's in front of me, I will eat it.
Yeah.
And what I found is that I just couldn't stick to the really small portions
Yeah.
that you're supposed to eat. So the fallacy is that I've got to eat 6 times a day, but in fact, for some people, 3 times a day may be more than enough.
And we see this in our clients all the time. If they change to 3 times a day, they're eating those balanced meals. So they've got the balanced protein, they've got non-starchy vegetables, and they've got some good carbohydrates, low GI, high fiber. They tend to lose weight because they feel full and satisfied. They're not eating tiny meals, which are meaning they're going to have to snack again later. And then they actually can keep their weight down because they're eating less over the whole day.
And also I found, Tara, that different types of people have different type of eating sort of profiles or personalities. And I would find some people that if they had a small meal, all that would do is stimulate their appetite rather than... And when they had a larger meal 3 times a day, they're actually more satisfied.
And the other thing that you talk about similar is that some people, they need to graze. So some people get too hungry in between, but they're okay with eating small meals. So it really is a personal thing. But if you find yourself a Labrador like Adam, or you find yourself a hungry eater, you find that you can't fill up on small amounts, or you find that you tend to eat more if you're eating more than 3 times a day, really you should be going back to those 3 times a day.
So there you have it, another principle of the Good Enough Diet. Check us out at goodenoughdiet.com and also check out the book.